But I have a theory about Jesus.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, I think that Mary had an affair with someone in the neighborhood.
You think?
Well, I mean, she's pregnant and her husband is like, oh my God, it's a miracle. And she's like, what are you talking about? He's like, we haven't even, gone all the way. This is crazy. And she's like, I know, right? Must be God's child. I imagine the neighbor's like looking over the fence, be like, oh my God, she's fucking telling him it's God's child. And then the kid's born and she feels so bad, especially with the patriarchy of that time, that she just rolls with it. So here's this baby who thinks that his dad is God, and she doesn't have the heart to tell him, like, no, your dad's actually lives across the street. So he grows up his whole life thinking that, like, he's the man. And I feel like that's why his death was particularly hard for her, because she wanted to just be like, you're not the son of God. But he was already being crucified by the Romans.
I think there's a lot of credibility with that theory.
That makes more sense than the other theory.
Which is?
That Mary got impregnated by God. It's impossible.
Do you feel me? You can't stand to be near me. Yeah, well, I come from a different place. My philosophy's from outer space. My religion is strange. I think it's because you fear change. Afraid to try to understand. Stranger in a strange land. But don't think I'm going away. You best believe that I'm here to stay. Because my God is better than your God.
We're from Israel.
They took oceanfront property and they gave it to people for peace. How did that work out? Not good.
But at the end of the day, if you do give an animal food, and I'm trying to talk nice here, but if you do give them food and a nice place to eat, and to live, they won't be happy. They want to rule the world, they won't.
And you really have a freedom zone. You go to the freedom zone. A free zone, a zone where people aren't going to be killed every day. That's a hell of a place.
My God is better than your God. My God is bigger than yours. But I'm Muslim, I'm a Buddhist, I'm a Hindu, a Catholic.
Man, I hate that things are so bad that we have to do a commercial about it.
Everything all a part of you. Well, if there's something you believe in,
Have your king, I have my king. We might not agree on that, but what we will agree on is that Bitcoin. If you want to collaborate with me on anything spiritual, esoteric, I'm happy to work.
Deliver me from the guilt, but leave me with the sin. My God is better than your God. My God is bigger than yours.
Ang dami ko pa manulang muli mo nakakabimit din. Mawag sa ako dito.
Sabi dami sa nagsasa.
Yung! kakabin. Nakakalimutan ako. Buti.
יאללה, טנק, יורה בכולם, טק, 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 הורגת את כולם.
Where were these men who yesterday were willing to die for me? Where are the, and really here's the crazy question. And is you say, where are the throngs of people who were waving palm fronds and welcoming him into Jerusalem 1 week before? And the scary answer is, they're right there. That's them. Because that's what happens when the devil takes control of us. You know, the devil moves in crowds. God speaks to us individually.
Wow.
And like, when I was talking to my...
Is that your quote? The devil moves in crowds?
I guess so.
That's the word. That is the creepiest thing I ever heard. That's anytime I'm having a bad trip. That's the vibe I get, man.
Yeah.
What the fuck? That's so creepy.
Everybody's felt it. Every single human being has felt it and knows exactly what I'm talking about.
And is that in that new building off the side?
That's in Memphis, actually.
It's in Memphis?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's where you were?
Yeah.
I see.
Memphis, the capital of ancient Egypt.
Right. Yeah, you're bringing what?
Perhaps that's where our new God will come from.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah, I wish that was funny. Yeah, okay, so I want to talk to you about a line that...
I wish that was funny.
Swag. Welcome back, everybody, to the glorious future.
There we go. We're back. Anthony has some new information for you. I have a new schedule. It's called 12:05 in the morning. It's called getting up. It's called getting a 6-hour head start
It's called
on
first shift.
everybody. Yeah, it's called
I
I have it together. I have some ideas. I I might slip up a little bit. I might forget
It's okay.
how to spell weather, Whether.
Yeah.
But we can correct that, and yeah, here we are. Welcome.
Are you gonna be all right for this episode? You all
Oh
right?
yeah, I'm focused. I'm here.
All right. Dude, yeah. What we were talking about yesterday was a huge day for Bitcoin. Um, who was the guy that said it was gonna hit 250K by the end of this year?
I don't know. Probably a lot of
Uh,
people.
hold on. Pull it up in the notes. Anyways, but um, yeah, we're talking about platinum too in that doc.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
I
didn't
read
look
like,
through all that stuff, but I honestly probably won't be entering platinum unless I see it breaking out. I probably won't enter till the 2026 lows, I'm thinking, but it's just something I'm thinking about.
yeah, and I don't think there's gonna be any like big movement like soon for as far as like going up. But it's like what I read from that first article, which I've been reading so many articles lately that it's hard to trust anything. Like whenever I read something, I just like I don't know if this is right for me. But
Yeah,
especially reading through that Reddit article, I don't know. Yeah, I've been really skeptical of what everybody's saying.
well, yeah, that's good. That's
But for platinum, I guess it doesn't really matter. But for like Bitcoin and gold and politics,
now that there's
you want
more
to make
people in
sure,
it. Yeah,
yeah, you want to make sure you're on a good website.
yeah,
It's not hard to tell like what websites obviously just I don't know. I was reading about like a lot of Israel and Hamas stuff last night, and there's a lot of just like shock websites and obviously very one-sided journalism. It's like
yeah.
holy, it's oh dude, we got to get the like counter up again. I'll count them after we record, but I just
Oh,
noticed I'm
right.
saying getting a couple likes in there. It's not working out, but um,
Last episode was really good. Last episode, you had like
oh yeah, that's
five.
perfect. That's
I don't know
perfect.
exactly what I had around that.
But yeah, going back to what I was saying, just um, yeah, I guess I trust Camel. I've been watching this other guy just on more like basic. Uh, I don't know. Pull it up. I would. This would be a good resource. I would say. Come on, where's he at? Oh, Clear Value Tax is an excellent channel.
What's it called?
Um, Clear Value Tax,
All right.
and it's not information on specific stocks. It's like tutorials on how to trade and how to be how to be more fiscally responsible. And I would
Mhm.
recommend it to anybody. That's how I'm kind of. He's the person that's teaching me how to do
Number one,
options right now.
join Scientology.
Yeah. Did you send me that video of I forget who it was, but like his daughter or something was like he's
Grant
like
Cardone.
yeah, become Scientologist and you're a millionaire or something. And he was
Yeah,
like, well,
he's like, why am I so successful? She thinks because he
I,
thinks he told her to he probably told her to tell him something like, because of real estate. She's like, because you're a millionaire and of Scientology.
he's like, well, I do have to thank Scientology for about 90% of my success.
I always knew something was off with that guy.
Um, yeah.
I don't
So
know.
I don't know what was his name again?
Grant Cardone.
Grant Cardone.
He's been around for years, and he's that guy who was like, you got to make 300K a year bare minimum. All
Yeah.
you have to do is show up. He's like,
Have
life's
you
not
seen?
about being happy. It's about making. He's like, it's about making at least
Oh,
300K a year.
this is like Jocko, pretty much. I
Yeah.
think is he the guy that's manipulated time?
No, that's a different guy.
Oh, okay. I think yeah, same dip.
I manipulated time.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
working
about it.
the
I'm thinking
first
about
shift.
doing a new schedule like that. So I'm gonna get a
I
new
thought
job, but I'm like, I could just still stick with this schedule. I could go to bed at 6 p.m. I could
I
wake up.
thought
I could have a whole nother day.
I've thought about working first shift, waking up at 2 o'clock to go to work at 3, getting off at noon, getting off of the at noon. Dude, be perfect. You're right there when the market opens.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
It's
up at
per it,
UK time. I was watching the Camel live stream when I got home.
damn, that's a flex, dude.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, dude. Me, I'm just a normie. I watch the videos 4 hours after they're posted at 9 o'clock
Yeah.
in the morning.
What were
We've
you?
been doing we've been doing good on the YouTube side. I just wanted to say, everyone go check out the YouTube. What this video is on. Should
Yeah.
we? Well, shouts out to Instagrams too, Seminary Podcast and the Glorious Future.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
what were you gonna say?
Because I should check the Spotify again, but Spotify will get like, I don't know, 20 views or something. The
Oh yeah, I
YouTube, the
forgot
last
about
episode
Spotify.
was like 200.
Yeah,
Like,
cultural
I don't know.
recession popped off.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
wonder,
think
part of me wonders what it is. It's like, there's certain things you hear and you go, that like tapped into something that was on everybody's mind, but you just never heard anybody say before.
the
Like,
collective unconscious.
the collective unconscious, and I feel like that kind of resonated with people and they clicked on it.
Mhm.
Um,
I think I grabbed a clip from there. I forget which one it was, but it was just a great episode. It was a tight hour, I think that one was, but
yeah,
I loved it. Um, Might have been the intro too. I think people just like Steely Dan.
right. Yeah, that's one of the best intros.
Dude,
Yeah.
I love
Oh,
it. That song's
also,
about that. Oh, what were you gonna say?
also with the new intro,
Mm.
I was gonna put it out, and then I was like, maybe we gotta save this for when we have a Patreon. Then we could get more. Then we could get more aggressive in the intros.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Let's see. I
Right
tried to
now,
upload.
I'm thinking Steely Dan, Steven Seagal. That's all the intro music
Yeah,
for like the
and then
next year.
okay.
Have you ever
Yeah,
listened to songs from the Crystal Cave?
I have actually. That's
Really?
that's excellent. That is excellent.
I've been
My
trying to get
favorite
people to
one.
listen to it. I didn't know anyone else listened.
Me wanna lick the punani. That's what he says, dude. Steven Seagal says me one lick the punani.
On the classic song Strut.
Uh, yeah, songs from the Crystal Cave. That is a dude. Steve Seagal is the most baller motherfucker I've ever seen.
I
Because he doesn't care.
transcend
He's like,
race.
yeah, I'm Russian, I'm Chinese, I'm African,
Yeah.
I'm Steven Seagal. I know Aikido, I know fake martial arts. Imagine being the best. Imagine being the best at fake martial arts. You're the most badass person ever. He's made movies all the way up until like 2014,
Damn.
and in his prime was like the 90s
Hmm.
or the 80s probably.
He's gotta have another one in him. The last time he released music was like 9 years ago, I think.
Oh, he's got
So if
at least an EP.
he's only like 80. Yeah, he could get another one out.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Something I wanted to bring up. I didn't share. So this is someone actually got this info from a fellow almost a conspirator. What's the word? Patriot researcher. A fellow Patriot
Right,
researcher put
right.
me onto this. I almost said co-conspirator. But Doge and Trump fired entire staff for program that helps people afford energy bills. I don't. This is the only article I've seen on it so far. Again, going back on the thing, like, who do you trust? But
Right.
it's called LIHEAP, LIHEAP, and so it's pretty much just like poor people can't heat their houses in the winter. Pretty much just like it's just like a welfare,
Disgusting.
yeah, welfare program for
Ugh.
which is crazy. I don't know how that really ties. I don't know really how that really ties in with my plans. No, sorry, America.
Well, I think we should give
But
them free fentanyl.
yeah, said that's the mayor of California said that. He's like,
What
there's
what
nothing we
city
could. There's
though?
oh yeah, no, the mayor of California.
Let's just go with
I'm
that.
ret I'm tarded, dude.
A mayor of California. He said we
Yeah,
should have the purge and give everybody free fentanyl.
yeah.
I don't know if
No,
he's
that guy
just
said he's the
I don't know if
president
he's
of
just
California.
giving up and trolling.
Come to
I
the
don't know if at a
realization I don't
certain
give a
point you
fuck.
just believe that.
Yeah, I've come to the realization I don't give a fuck about homeless people. Um, dude, oh my God. Yeah, let's figure out who that guy is real quick. But
But
Lie that's
I think there's
well,
better solutions. I think we could round them all up. If that guy really doesn't want them in his country, then he could send him to us. We could put him on a boat. We could get him in Atlantis too. We could give them productive drugs, and
yeah,
we could like indenture them for like 3 years, like not even that long, like 3 years,
yeah.
like it depending. You could get
Just
like max like 5 years, and then after that, you can probably become a citizen of Atlantis too. What about
that's
that
fair.
plan?
That's fair.
I think that's fair. That's productive. But that's because I
That's
believe in
reasonable.
these people and I believe in change.
Do you think we're
That's the
gonna
future.
okay, are we gonna ask for autistic people's medical records? Like are we gonna get RFK on is RFK a part of Atlantis too? Or do you think
I
his
don't know.
time
I
is up?
think he's
He's one of the old gods.
yeah. He's yeah. It's the like I heard somebody say RFK is like the guy I could if they made like a queue of RFK, like a QAnon for RFK, I could get into it. If they're like RFK's actually playing interdimensional chess here. He's
Yeah,
not on their
three-dimensional
team.
death.
He's just playing along with it, and when the time comes, he's gonna get revenge. But I
I don't
think what
know.
actually happened is RFK kind of wanted to do the right thing for a little bit, but now he's just on
I
the
don't think he
yacht with
could.
all his friends. He's in the government. He's having a good time. He's doing testosterone replacement, and
The
he's
TRT.
yeah, he's in the
Uh,
club, and I don't know if he wants to leave the club.
I think he tried his best. I think he genuinely gave it a good shot and just couldn't do it.
I
And
mean, I
you
don't know
know,
if you can do anything, but then it's also like, do these people want to do anything?
yeah,
That's really the question. Not that it pertains too much to us, I guess, but
like I think that I don't know. I say that he gave it a good shot, but I'm mostly joking. I haven't seen anything RFK has actually done, like any real life changes he's made. It's just more campaigning. I don't think he can actually ever make like a genuine positive change for us.
I
And
see
now this thing,
everything about him in posts and clips, so
yeah,
I
and I just yeah, that's exactly. I don't know. Um, I wish I knew more about him, but I see a lot of autistic people are getting mad at him because they want to like have a census of all the autistic people in America, so
mm,
they can track you know, like an audit. So
Yeah.
that ties in. That's where the autistic utopia, the technate. That's
Right.
our that's the part RFK plays into the technate.
Yeah.
The brain chips are good for you.
That's kind of an autistic
Put
thing
the
to
chip
do.
in your brain. I can't do a good RFK.
You gotta do it like
You put the chip in your brain.
this is it. You gotta be like I'm doing good at it. And then it's like this. So what the plan is, we gotta round up all the people, we gotta organize the autistic people.
You gotta
I
talk like
think
you've
it
been shot.
I think it's something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Oh, real quick, shout out Whitney Webb, dude. She's honestly like this. Everything I've seen so far is tremendous. Every interview, a true patriot. That's the ideal patriot researcher.
He's on the
I'm not trying.
forefront.
Yeah, dude. I'm not trying to be a fucking brown noser, but I love it because just with the like stable coins and all the other scandalous things the Fed wants to do to us. It's the perfect. It's like everything I want to learn about, just perfectly presented through
Yeah.
like the unlimited hangout. Shouts out the unlimited hangout.
Right.
I put that in the document.
Oh
She was
yeah, I
talking
saw you
about,
write about like South America and the all the stuff going on
yeah,
down there. Because I've
I'm
never
just
really
kind of
put that
figuring out
all
what that
together.
is.
But my dad's always telling me about that. And
The
I'm
carbon
like,
markets,
yeah, I need to look into it more. How
dude.
they
I feel like,
basically rerouted around like the actual, from what I understand, the actual governments of a lot of these countries kind of destroyed their currencies, and now they're just using like stable coins and stuff to go around
yeah,
the actual governments and just to use the countries and kind of take them over without officially taking them over, right?
exactly. And yeah, um, with I don't. I need to go through and watch the video again and also research like. But there's another video by I think it was Mark Goodwin. He talks a little bit more about it, and it's he brought something up that was like really scary about how the Fed is kind of like hiding behind the private sector to
Right.
like with uh like in the carbon markets and with crypto and stable coins. It's kind of scary. I wish I had it written down better. Yeah, okay, here we go. Hiding behind the private sector to make a seizable, programmable, and controllable coin. There we go. I can't make a single thought by myself. I gotta write it down.
I mean, that's kind of what they always do. Like, this is another thing I heard Whitney Webb talking about is like total information awareness. So basically it's what they always try to do, which is when the American people are don't like something because it's the government running it, they don't like central bank digital currencies. So
Yeah,
Trump or whoever comes out and goes, "Okay, we're not doing CBDCs now. We're against that, but we're going to have stable coins that are privatized, but they do the same thing." And, you know,
yeah,
we have currency right now that's coming from the central banks. Nobody cares. The real issue is that it's surveillable
hmm
and
and
they can
seizable.
confiscate it. Right, right. Um, so it's basically the same thing, but they just make you think it's okay because
Mhm.
it's private. Sort of like Whitney Webb also talks about with total information awareness, which I'll see if I should pull up my screen here.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's the thing with Bitcoin. It's moved from this totally private, like actually private, outside of the government eye thing into this thing where it's like alongside with other stable coins like Tether and Solana. Tether has worked with the CIA and the FBI to seize and freeze people's wallets.
right.
So It's just a replace. All it is, from what I've seen, is a replacement to the U.S. dollar. And even on Tether's website, it tells you to promote like the usage of Tether instead of the U.S. dollar, and like make try to normalize it within the economy. I mean, the freaking
Yeah.
ticker is USDT, so they
Yeah.
you can transfer Chinese yuan or Mexican pesos into Tether. It's it's just a complete like blatant globalization effort as well as a replacement of the US dollar, which is like uh the the monarch of currencies, I
Right.
guess you'd call it. Yeah. Which yeah. Anyways, what go ahead with what you're saying. I just wanted to say that.
Oh, I really just wanted to show everybody the TIA logo. TIA was a DARPA program, total information awareness, um, a mass detection program, um, op and people didn't like total information awareness, so they renamed it actually for a little bit. Um, terrorism information awareness. It was like a detection program, like listen to everything and basically get any data that they could to track people and figure out who was a threat. Um, it ended up getting broken up because there were worries about it being intrusive, but it just got broken up in a way. Whitney Webb has an article about it that it got broken up into other government agencies, but also um, the same month that TIA was pressured to change its name after growing backlash, Peter Thiel incorporated Palantir, which was incidentally developing the core panopticon software that TIA had hoped to wield. Anyway,
The what software?
The
The Panopticon?
panopticons, which is, if anybody doesn't know what the panopticon is, we'll go over to that. But anyway, the information's there. Go to Unlimited Hangout.
Yeah. We're not here to tell you the full story. We're just here to make you aware, as I once said. Listen, I'm just here to bring it up. You can look it up if you want to.
Yeah.
Panopticon.
We'll save that for the Patreon. That's where we really go deep, everybody.
Yeah. I guess we could start a Patreon, dude.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to. I think it's free.
Yeah.
To run.
I feel like it'll just originally I've always wanted to be like, everything will be free and available for everybody, but I don't know if that's the way it works anymore. I think
I don't think I want
I think
I
it
don't want to be a wagey.
it. Yeah, you got to make money, and also it kind of legitimizes it by making it like, oh, they have a Patreon, and it's a little bit exclusive.
And it's always been like, look, I'm taking the time here to make these. One, if we had a set, like usually with podcasts, we're gonna give you this free hour on YouTube, and then we're gonna sit here and fucking record for another however long. We're gonna have other stuff on the Patreon. It's there's a reason to pay for it, and there's a reason why you have to get paid for it because you put a lot of time into it. It's perfect. I think they're perfectly, but as long as we just don't start begging for money.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Really? 20 Patreon subscribers.
We need 3. It's $3. It's $3. There's gonna be a beginnings. Every episode we start off with, please go over to Patreon.
God, please.
It would kind of make sense. Yeah. If what was I? Oh yeah, it would kind of make sense to have as like this is the separate Patreon, and it's probably going to be few enough people to start off with that's where we have the Atlantis 2 meetings. Once you're in the Patreon, you can get the link to the Discord. You can get in deep to the upper tier, to the inner circle, That's where the true believers, the
Oh, what is it?
founders of Atlantis 2 are at.
Yeah, the upper echelon,
Exactly.
Yeah, you break the glass ceiling. Um,
The Atlantean
that's
elite.
perfect. Is really what it turns into is the free videos are an advertisement for the Patreon, which is there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. I'm just saying that's the business works.
And there's
It's
a lot
it's
of amazing
advertisement for the
information
Patreon.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's if when this starts popping, and it will. We'll just do like hour-long YouTube videos, and then the rest is just going to be Patreon, and it's going to be you can't even get through it all. It's going to be like Izzy, shout out Izzy and Griffin, the guy that does a lot of the conspiracies on like celebrities in the music industry. Dude, every day I wake up, there's like fucking 5 posts. Episode this, episode that. This guy's fucking. It's one person is
wired.
like, yeah, dude, you can't get past that, and it's inspired me. That's what our Patreon's gonna be like, dude. It's like I can't even listen to all the episodes. There's so many.
Yeah.
But anyone you tune into though, you're gonna see some shit.
Mhm.
We're gonna keep it. But
And it's kind of like Camel does too. Like the regular videos he sends out, like they're great. You get a lot of information there. If you want to actually see like what his plan is that day and like what he's moving on, then you can move up to level 3.
yeah.
So speaking of which, we will get into some financials here briefly, but
So
the
tell me.
panopticon.
Oh yeah, go ahead with this.
The panopticon, I think this is right, 18th century. I think it's a British design. Is a design of an institutional building, a prison, with an inbuilt system of control originated by the English philosopher and social theorist Jeremy Bentham in the 18th century. The concept is to allow all prisoners of an institution to be observed by a single corrections officer without the inmates knowing whether or not they are being watched. Although it is physically impossible for the single guard to observe all the inmates' cells at once, the fact that the inmates cannot know whether they are being watched motivates them to act as though they are being watched at all times. They are effectively compelled to self-regulation. The architecture consists of a rotunda with an inspection house at its center. From the center, the manager or staff are able to watch the inmates. Bentham conceived the basic plan as being equally applicable to hospitals, schools, sanatoriums, and asylums. But anyway.
Schools.
Yeah.
There's a huge watchtower with tinted windows in the middle of the schoolyard.
I don't really know how that would work. But yeah,
I've heard
now
of
they
this
can
before.
just do it digitally.
That is insane. Do you think that system has been implicated in our society? Do you think that's something we're living through?
Yeah.
In a sense, at the start of it?
Yeah, probably the start of it, and maybe you will be watched all the time. Maybe you are. So
there's a certain amount of I wouldn't say fear, concern that you are being watched or maybe monitored. I felt that kind of last night when I was looking up is Israel the bad guy? Is Hamas the bad guy? I kind of felt like I was, that eerie sense, somebody's kind of right behind your shoulder, maybe,
Yeah.
If that FBI agent's peeping my Google, yeah, because I'm still on Google, so I am compromised. My data is. Well, that's another thing too.
DuckDuckGo or nothing.
Yeah, we'll see. Like you use DuckDuckGo, so there's an obvious concern that, your data is being tracked potentially, but you don't know. See.
Right,
so we are
right,
living
right.
through we're not exactly in the start, but we are in the early stages of this full panopticon. I almost called it the palindrome.
And they got me on Instagram already. I've viewed way too much stuff that I shouldn't have for my freedom credit score or whatever they're gonna call it.
My theory is that Instagram wants you to be desensitized by that kind of stuff, so that's why they promote it so much in the algorithm. Because you can like one picture or a reel of some random shit and you won't get repeats of it, but you like one anti-Semitic post and now there's like 10 going down your screen.
Yeah.
I think well, pretty much any conspiracy stuff, but it wants you to get lost in that I don't know what they call it. Just like I don't know, lost and desensitized to whatever it is, if it be anti-Semitism, which is so crazy that that gets pushed. It's
Yeah.
there's no way that they don't want you to see it because of the amount of
Maybe they want
control.
it. Maybe they want to see who interacts with it. That's what I'm always like
Yeah. And
a
what's
little worried
okay, I'm
about.
actually
I'm like, are
let's
they gonna?
try
If I've interacted with enough of it in a couple years, are they gonna be like, all right, we go now, El Salvador, buddy. That was one too many posts.
oh yeah. Uh working at this job I have now is the first time I've really felt a sense of like being self-aware enough. And it's a combination of being self-aware enough and also the current state of the world that I was actually scared. I was like, oh man, I probably shouldn't say that.
Right.
Just like because you're like not anything hateful, not anything discriminatory or nothing like that, but it's like, oh, that's kind of offensive. I don't know. This is the early stages of full on, we're Big Brother. 1984 is happening, 2030.
Yeah.
That's why we got to break away from it. What was I gonna say though? I said, oh damn, I was gonna put in the notes. Anyways, kind of got lost. Anyways, all right. Is this true? I need you to confirm this for me. Gold spot price hit 3,500 yesterday.
Um, I don't know. We could go look. We can go look at the
Last
charts.
night it was at 3,300, but I'd seen that it hit the market cap. Like
Um.
metals hit like 20 trillion altogether.
Oh yeah, 3,500. That was the top. Um, but I honestly missed most of this move to the upside. I like sold all my options and my leveraged stocks here, and then I like tried to go short here, lost,
Hmm.
and then finally went short up here and got that back, made some gains. Sold my puts today, but one thing that I hadn't paid attention before that I think would be good to pay attention to is gold. I was like, all right, when's this thing gonna stop? Because it was just ripping. And then what you could kind of see is while gold was making those gains still, you could see the mining stocks were starting to lose momentum. Like people were starting to be hesitant. Um, and that seemed to be a pretty
They
good
slowed first.
indicator. Right, right.
Yeah.
Like they
Okay.
led on the way down.
So
Well, that's
we can go back we can go right back to gold after
that's
this question, but have you seen something like that with Bitcoin? Like with like not it going down before whatever, but with like MicroStrategy and Bitcoin, do those kind of coincide with the amount of like maybe not MicroStrategy, I don't know if they've been buying as much.
right.
I guess they did I guess they did buy a lot before this jump maybe.
Well,
But it might have been
MicroStrategy,
yesterday though.
I haven't looked at MicroStrategy in a long time. I need to clean this up, but um yeah, MicroStrategy definitely led on the way up. Like if we put I need to just delete all my stuff off here, but you could see like Bitcoin, like it definitely started to make some big moves up before Bitcoin did.
Hmm.
Um does that well,
Yeah.
these
I've
charts
kind of had
never
that
really
question.
these comparative charts don't work that well sometimes, but um like
Yeah.
other Bitcoin miners, between the other Bitcoin miners, you can definitely look for some to lead on a breakout. Like Mara's breaking out. Let's see. Riot.
Hmm.
I don't know if Riot has broken out yet. Like barely. But see, like Mara was kind of leading. MicroStrategy led again. Um, Wolf still hasn't broken out. And then you might look at like Hut. What was Hut doing? Hut's barely broken out. And I think Hive's broken out. So what you would probably do is you would look and you would see what ones are leading as they're breaking out. And those are probably going to be the ones that perform the best. But they also might front run like most of the Bitcoin move, and they
Hmm.
might top before it. So that's something to think about. That's what we saw with MicroStrategy, where MicroStrategy um made a
You
top
said
and
it
had
might,
a huge decline as Bitcoin's kind of stayed around the same range.
right. And I kind of had that question the last couple days. I was waiting to ask you on the cast, but it does make sense now. As soon as I asked it, it made sense to me that they wouldn't directly correlate as to, they're a mining company separate from, Bitcoin,
Right.
kind of like not,
Yeah.
I mean, they mine Bitcoin, but they're separate from, it going up and down. They can make their own choices.
Right.
So, but, yeah, I do want to get your opinion because it seems like you've been right on pretty much everything you've said so far. And like,
So far. And
yeah, so far.
that's on what I've said, not what I've actually done. I've made some money, but I've messed up a couple moves recently for sure.
What
Um,
it mistakes mistakes.
yeah. Yeah.
But
But
um
GameStop, Camel's buying GameStop right now. So you could kind of
okay,
guess what part of the
all
Bitcoin cycle
caps.
what part of the Bitcoin cycle of the 4-year cycle we're in right now. It might be the last couple months because things get a little crazy. Um,
So what is Camel's buying GameStop. How do I as a uneducated dirty civilian, how do I need to react?
well, he's buying go all in. No.
Go all.
He's well, apparently Camel's looking for like a 10x out of GameStop because they might buy Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Um, so the idea is they might buy Bitcoin, and what he thinks is it's gonna front run that move and go from 30 to who knows how high. Um, and then they're gonna either not buy or buy the top and it's gonna crash again. That's what he thinks. Um, but I'm in and I got like a half size position. So that's also something I
No.
should cover more. Um, and also something I should organize better myself is like what my plans are for stocks and like exactly how I'm organizing them, because that's definitely like what made a big shift to actually starting to make money is like getting a trading account set up that was like had super strict system. Like not super strict, but like okay, I I have $2,000 in here and I can put, you know, 10% per stock, and all of these positions have a $40 stop loss, um, which is
Okay.
which is 2% of the account size.
Yeah.
And that way you kind of make sure that you can't lose too much, and also just yeah, you make sure you're sized somewhat. It's like pretty simple, but you just make sure you're sized somewhat responsibly, and you know when you're
Yeah.
gonna stop out, and you don't have a choice. And then
Mhm.
I'm also trying to organize
Yeah.
kind of what my long-term accounts are gonna be like, and
Yeah.
options.
I like what you said, knowing when you're going to stop and like what you put in the doc and sticking to your plan and learning from if the plan didn't work out as well, just sticking to it and learning from that, as opposed to just starting to, like how I said, move in a fear-based way.
Right. Which
Um,
also, if you do move in a
but
fear-based way, or you're worried about missing a move, or you're like, oh, am I undersized? Am I oversized? That's a good thing to like do a couple times almost just to be aware of it and be aware of
Yeah.
like, oh, this is how a lot of like retail is moving, and this is kind of
Hmm.
like just kind of like imagine as like a little thought experiment, like how many people of what segments of the population
Are doing the same like
are
thing,
yeah, are thinking in the
thinking in
same
the same
way.
way.
Yeah, what's the
Yeah.
collective consciousness doing? And usually the market's kind of gonna move against them. Um,
Hmm.
and I'm not saying like obviously I'm not good enough at this, and I
Yeah.
don't know that I should put my time into trying to be that I'm gonna like every week I'm gonna know a trade based on it, but like over a long period of time and over like months, you could kind of see like how things may move against people.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we're talking about this again because I think when I first brought it up, we weren't recording. But yesterday, with I was not prepared for that huge movement in Bitcoin. I was like the fact that it went up so high comparative to what I have seen, which was like I got in around 70,000 and 80,000 to see it at like 93. I was like, oh my Lord, like this is it. At first, it was just extreme, like we're gonna break out to over 100K today. It's gonna be crazy. And then I throughout the day, just like not being able to get on my phone and just like actually realizing how much I didn't know about Bitcoin, what was like, and I was like genuinely because I had a good chunk of change in there. I was like, what's good? I have no idea what's gonna happen. So I'm pretty much just have a good chunk of money on black right now and have to
right.
and I'm lucky that we didn't take such a huge like there wasn't a large correction like I thought there was going to be a large correction later that day and there wasn't and
Mm,
so that just shows you how like misinformed I was but it's good like you said that I experienced that because it makes you think about how many other people are going through the exact same thing and
yeah.
maybe that day was their first time ever trading something.
Right.
And like you said, the market is most likely to move against those people. Also, it was good for me as well to be like to be or to see that and to say, hey, this is not something I ever really want to experience again. Next time I have the opportunity to invest in something, I want to make sure it's actually an investment. A good. And I'm not saying I'm still glad that I'm into Bitcoin right now before this lockout we're talking about but I will try to be more well informed before I make any decisions. You got to make well informed decisions. You can't guesstimate because yeah, I gotta stop talking to the viewer. I gotta say I gotta stop guesstimating. I have to make well informed decisions because that's really who I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
still hopeful though. It's everybody makes mistakes. It was a great learning lesson. You know we're still here, dude. The world didn't
Yeah.
the world didn't the world didn't stop spinning. So keep pushing.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Um, just to go back to the chart real quick.
yeah.
Um,
Sorry, I kind of went off on a little tangent.
oh no, that's good. I just don't know if I have anything um to add.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um,
some good things
I
to look at are definitely like open interest and liquidity heat map to see where we might move. Um, Camel has some good ideas. Kimazabi's saying some interesting stuff. Um, what Camel's been talking about recently is like this could be a cycle inversion, which I could kind of see. Um, or this is where the cycle low should be, and based on
in May.
timing. Yeah, early
Yeah.
May. So do we get up to almost to 100,000 and then just dump it right back to who knows 90, 80,
Hmm.
70, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Um, and then, everybody thinks, oh, well, it's really over. It couldn't break 100K. And then we just go from there. Or, you know, if it pushes from here and, we'll get some small pullbacks along the way. Because I could see that option happening too, where we're like, "Shh," and then it's just gone because everybody's going, oh, I wish I could have bought in down here because I wanted to buy in
Right.
at these past highs. That would have been the logical level.
There's like a FOMO,
Um,
like a new because in the beginning or at the beginning of this year, actually the end of last year, there's like that FOMO in December. A lot of people bought in. Do you think there's going to be another instance of that where people buy in now in fear of missing out?
I mean, yeah, it definitely could be because I can definitely see like if because I didn't have that much of a position right when this thing broke out, and I could definitely see myself going like, oh, I don't want to have to like I don't want this thing just to run right now, and I'm gonna keep
Yeah.
having to buy in, and especially once it makes new all-time highs and people are like, oh, it's going to whatever. People start to get all excited again. People start to set crazy targets. You're
Yeah.
hearing
Once
all this
it's like,
stuff.
wow. Mhm.
And then people are just chasing this move higher, and something like that could happen. So my plan right now is I have like half of what my Bitcoin position's going to be, half of what my XRP position's going to be. um but what Camel's actually, and I'm happy just to hold that and not to add to it, or if we get rejection and we end up back down here, um, I'll definitely add to it. In the meantime, and what Camel's suggesting too is to, because if you enter right here, um, like a responsible stop, you would have to put it down at 74,000. That's a kind of a
Mhm.
big gap. You don't really want that. Um,
Yeah.
the better thing to do would be to go to something like Riot where which could outperform, but also your stop can be a lot tighter from where we are right now to the low back here.
There's
That's
not going to be so
only,
much movement between the low and the high
yeah, like
with Riot.
if you did have to stop out, I guess it's a decent amount, but you know, I think there's a lot of upsides to, at least at the moment, adding some Bitcoin miners. Um, let's see, what's from if you entered right now, you would stop out. Is that right? All right, that's not great actually. You'd stop out down
Uh,
13 or 30%. And then on Bitcoin, I guess it's basically just the risk to reward, because
yeah.
really it's about the same. It's probably a little worse to buy miners, but the risk to reward on miners is better just because, you know, when Bitcoin was at 100,000, we had Mara up at 30 and now we're at 14. So if Bitcoin
Mhm.
can do another 10%, or more than that,
Right.
maybe we see Mara get back up to past highs. So you have
Mhm.
a little bit better risk to reward getting in miners right here versus getting in Bitcoin. I guess that's the idea.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, I
So
might cut some of that out because I wasn't.
so
I guess
well
apparently I
no,
hadn't
dude,
really
that's
thought
perfect.
that through.
Dude, that was perfect. But I have a question. It's kind of a dumb question. So do you think if Bitcoin follows, I'm kind of thinking now that it might go a little higher and float around a little bit, but inevitably hit that cycle low in May because of, you know, the the informed traders starting to sell like in Wall Street or maybe, but um with Bitcoin, if Bitcoin did go down in May, do you think the miners would potentially, start buying more Bitcoin, like MicroStrategy buys another chunk of Bitcoin, or maybe
Right.
one of these other companies? I don't know
The,
if that's a stupid question, but
no, I mean, I just really don't know. From
yeah,
what I've seen, at least with MicroStrategy, they're not too good at buying lows. A lot of
yeah.
times they're buying pretty high up. Um, it doesn't really seem too strategic. They're just buying. Um,
Okay. I think maybe I'm
so
trying too hard to make a connection between the two,
I
but
mean, there could definitely be
whatever.
something there. It is interesting that they're not very good at buying the lows. There definitely is
Right.
something there. I just haven't really thought about it.
Yeah, I would just yeah. I guess in my mind, I would just assume they'd want to hold them, like try to hold the most that they could. I don't know anything about their company though, so I don't know if that'd be beneficial for them to actually hold Bitcoin rather than just, be able to mine it. But I heard Camel also talked about, I think this is the video is posted on 421.
Also, I don't
Like,
think MicroStrategy actually mines Bitcoin. I think
am I
they're just
being
all kind
crazy?
of hype. They just buy Bitcoin. All the other
Really?
I did bring it up when I was showing the Bitcoin miners. I could be
Hmm.
wrong, but I think they just buy Bitcoin. I think they're just like some little tech company, and then they started buying
Yeah.
Bitcoin and got a bunch of hype around them. But all the other stocks I showed are Bitcoin miners.
Okay. That's just
Um,
okay. So that really was a
yeah,
dumbass question. Yeah, because I'm looking on their website right now. I mean, their logo is Bitcoin. Like it's the Bitcoin logo is their logo. But they're
right.
talking about like AI or like artificial intelligence for apps and shit. So fuck these guys.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, it's
Made me
actually
look like
pretty
a
stupid.
goddamn fool. Made me look like a damn fool.
I can cut it out.
That's okay. It's whatever.
Um, well,
Oh,
I
okay.
would assume that because I would
I'm just
be
I'm just
like,
a part of the disgusting public.
I would have assumed they mine Bitcoin because otherwise, like based on the valuation, like why would you be buying MicroStrategy when you could just buy Bitcoin? Because all
Yeah,
MicroStrategy does is apparently make some tech
buy
stuff
Bitcoin.
and then they buy Bitcoin with their profits.
No,
Okay,
you buy the company that buys Bitcoin. How do you not understand?
right.
It's real quick before we shut it off, because it's about an hour now. Uh I've realized we haven't really talked about oil ever. We might have in the past, but I don't remember. But what, do you have any thoughts on oil?
Um,
On big oil?
I forget how you even look up oil. I did hear a thing by what was his name? Fletcher Prouty that I want to look into about how oil's the second most it's the second most available substance on Earth and we should use it for everything and it's all a scam that it's limited. So that'd be something to look into. Forget how you can I think this is a good way to look at oil. I've never looked at oil at all, really. Um, let's see.
Oil, big oil.
I'm honestly, I don't really know. I need to do a lot more research into oil.
Mhm.
I
Well,
don't know much
yeah,
about it. I would expect maybe it makes a low in 2026 with everything else.
okay.
And
Yeah,
that
because
would be a good
the
time to
first
buy.
time, yeah, the first time I had ever thought about it was, just last night. I was like, hey, I'll bring that up tomorrow. Because
Hmm.
uh,
I mean,
I
I'll
don't want
write
to
it
put,
down, yeah.
I don't want to put you on blast, but tremendous note taking. I love the amount of notes you put in. I was like, fuck, I gotta, I gotta put something in there. I was like, oil. Talk about oil. That's always, I don't know. I guess growing up, I've always heard people say it, like on the news and stuff, is always about oil. It's like
Yeah.
the boomer, whatever's the stable liquid.
Yeah. I should look into it more. It's gonna be interesting
But that
if
makes
there
me
is
think
a
as well,
downturn.
there might be with the advents of nuclear fission.
Oh, I was just thinking, yeah, yeah. It could be that, but also just a downturn in the
Investors?
economy in general. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, right.
Well, yeah. I assume it got hit hard uh, on Black Monday, as we want to call it. But I would assume a lot of 401ks and IRAs and like long-term ETFs and oil, and those were the ones that I think got hit the hardest
All right.
on that day.
on that.
But
Yeah, I guess it was a
some
big deal. I just wasn't. I just didn't. I wasn't
I
positioned
wasn't
that bad.
holding.
So
I
to
wasn't. Yeah,
me, I
I
was
wasn't
like, well,
holding
all
margin.
right, cool. Could have
But
caught that, but whatever.
thank you, Donald Trump, for
Yeah.
destroying my woke savings. I guess. Yeah. I don't want to talk about it like it was too big of a deal, but it fucking hurt some people. You know.
Yeah, like if you were just got a retirement account, you're starting
Yeah.
to get excited for, you just started buying the top here.
Dude,
Fuck.
imagine you're 63 years old and you're like, well, shit, I can't retire for another year now. I gotta
Yeah.
wait.
Or you gotta wait
But
another decade. Who
yeah,
knows?
why don't you have an 802K? Get it when you're 85.
Right. Is that, oh, that's what it's based on? It's based on the year that you would get it?
No, that's just a Sam Hyde joke.
Oh.
He said, why don't you have an 80?
Give me 100 years. Give me
Yeah,
200 years. I want
100 years of service to the machine god.
I want to get yeah, I want to give it all to them.
Yeah. Um,
Um, just to wrap up really quick on kind of what my plan is at this point with Bitcoin and everything is I don't in case it does make a lockout move, I don't want to I have like
miss
$100 in
out.
my trading account. All right, I don't want to miss out. Um, so I'm gonna just hold the like half-size Bitcoin position I have in my long-term account, which is only like $400. And then, if it goes lower, I'll add to it. And then I have in my trading account, I have like a half-size position on Mara, half-size position on Riot. So I'll just plan just to hold those. And then I would have the opportunity there to either double those positions or um because I can only add my trading account 20% per um like type of asset like Bitcoin miners. So I could add another
Mhm.
$200 there and get full sized if there's another dip back down in Bitcoin. And then I need to have like the long-term count and options like organized and defined with my risk, but maybe have like 100 set aside. I'd play options in Riot or something like that if there was a move that I was pretty sure about.
So, yeah. Um, if you feel like it, I'd be happy to hear about any of those because that's something I've been trying to get into. Options is weird because I can understand it as a concept, but once I get into the screen, I'm like, I don't know where it's gonna go. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But
I mean if I have like a really good option
yeah,
play I'm getting into, I'll let you know and you can double check it and see
guys,
if it's worth it.
if you guys join tier two of the Patreon, you get full access to the Bitcoin channel and the Discord,
Yeah.
and you will be able to you know, make trades with us.
And we're gonna have it more organized at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah. I what I'm trying to do also I should touch on like gold and silver. Um
Yes.
I'm guessing this, at least with gold, who knows, silver could turn around and outperform. So I have a little bit of silver stock I'm holding still. But
Hmm.
gold I'm expecting a left translate and just all the people who are trying to chase this move up to, you know, above 3,000. The maximum pain is it goes back down to 3,000 and just takes all those people out. And that's where I would look to sell my GDXD position and start buying gold mining stocks to hold for like the next year or so.
Hmm.
Um, Same with probably silver. Um, but yeah, I guess that's about it. And then just like cycle lows or whenever I think there's a cycle top, I have like a hundred. I think I'll have like $150 maximum that I'll play with options from
Right.
there, which will be like
Okay.
10% of what I would have in mining stocks. And then in the trading account, as far as mining stocks, that's the only place I'll play leverage mining stocks is in there, just to make sure
Right.
I don't get too risky. And then I think most of the money I make and stuff, um, I I'm gonna keep a lot of cash, but like the profit from options and stuff,
Yeah.
I'll just put back into mining stocks and look to hold those in next year because that's where I think probably the safest um returns are that are gonna be decent
Yeah.
sized and
Same.
that I'm more sure about are just gold and silver mining stocks this next year. And then after that I would
Okay.
probably say Bitcoin mining stocks.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely not MicroStrategy. Those fucking bastards.
I might buy a little MicroStrategy.
Nah,
That's where
just
I made
I buy a little bit. But
that's where I made most of the gains in my trading account.
no, I'm just saying that because I thought they were a mining company and they weren't.
I
So I'm
mean,
just saying fuck. I'm saying fuck those guys. It's their
I
fault.
don't I don't really know what all the hubbub and the hype is about over there, but good for them.
Well,
Good for
hey,
them.
you said you made most of your money on it, so
Yeah.
I
Well, Camel
assume
got in. I got in like halfway up. Camel's in at like years ago.
my largest profit was DJT when
Had
he
like
got I think it
ridiculous
was when he
amounts
got
in it.
elected, or maybe it was when Biden dropped out, or when he got elected. My
Nice.
biggest profit was from DJT, so that's something to look into as well.
I haven't looked at DJT in a while.
Maybe if he gets shot, the price will go up. Or
If they do another
maybe if he something good and wholesome happens to him, the price will go up as well. There, that's clip that. We'll put that in the in the YouTube.
if they do another ritual,
Yeah.
that's what the Trump attempted assassination was. It was just a ritual.
Yeah, it was a blood ritual.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because you have to have your ear pierced if you it's like a high up ritual in Judaism
Mm.
to be I won't get into it right now because I don't know any of the details. I don't know what I'm talking about, but
Oh,
it's a
something.
serious thing.
One of the
It was all fake and it was all a ritual. I heard it on Tinfoil Hat, and Trump converted to Judaism last year. Anyway, yeah.
yeah. Also, for legal reasons, all of this is a joke.
Yeah,
For
well,
legal reasons,
obviously.
yeah. For legal reasons, all of this is just a joke. This is AI deepfake. Uh, you know, generated content. This is none of this is real. So don't add us because our none of our emails are active. Thank you.
Right. And maybe a
Yeah.
lot of this we should cut
these
out, say for the
these are all
Patreon.
archived. Yeah, these are all
Right.
archived clips from 2006.
This is the type of episode we'll have on the Patreon, guys.
Yeah, this is the
Along
type of
with
episode to break. I'm calling it right now. Sorry. This is the type of episode to break 300 views.
I think so. I think
I
so.
think we're gonna do it, dude.
I'm just gonna need to edit out a lot of me talking about financials and realizing I don't have that much of a plan.
Leave it in. Leave it
Yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah.
It was all right. It was good.
Well,
I
the
mean,
main thing is you know some of the plan now, and then we'll refine it.
yeah, why would
But
you want to cut any of that stuff out?
at least we have a plan started. 'Cause I don't know if it sounds like a great plan, and I don't know if people would say we want to get on these guys' Patreon.
Well, okay. I don't think any of
To
it's bad.
get
I don't
people
think
on
any
you,
of
you need to have
I think it's a
you gotta
great start.
you gotta get either people gotta know that there's extreme content on your Patreon, or they gotta know that
Yeah.
you're making a lot of money.
Yeah. We're not ready for the Patreon yet, and that was a joke, but Everything else with the financials was great. I thought all your opinions and stuff on everything. None of it was super, I don't know, crazy. Seemed like real, dude. It's what you think. You gotta trust. You
Nice.
gotta trust you gotta trust what you think, dude.
Right.
We gonna wrap this one up real quick.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
Next week we'll have more information for you. Next week will probably be like, who knows when, but soon, in the glorious future.
In the glorious future. Everyone have a good week. Be safe in the markets. Be conscious of every decision you're making. Practice good behavior. That's all. That's the advice I have. And drop a like, subscribe, comment, and shout out you, the viewer.
We'll see you in the Patreon.